probable things that come out that would make us think that at least there should be probable cause. No one's
Mm-hmm.
arrested.
Yep.
They could have
Exactly.
arrested them and said they could have arrested them for BUI. They could have
Yes.
held them and had them all in separate rooms, interrogating them and asking them questions. They know what they could have done, but they're not doing any of that because to me it's a whole full on cover up. Period.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Exactly. Exactly.
That
And I
is the
feel
It's a
obvious
whole cover up.
fact.
yeah,
Yep.
the thing about them being best friends, they're saying, well, I'm the best friend. I'm the best friend. I'm like, y'all are, I don't know what the thing is about them like ranting and raving over like them saying, the best friend. But
Yeah.
I really truly think that of course with the GoFundMe or Give Sends Go, whatever, they're trying to make this seem like they're the best friend. They're mourning him. They're doing all these things, but they ain't doing what they should be doing. And that's telling what really happened. But they're doing that because with the Alex Murdoch thing, that was a huge lawsuit.
Yep.
That was a huge lawsuit. So
Yep.
we know that they may have maybe $1 billion, $1 million, of course, probably assets or whatever they have. But
Hmm.
in one sense, it's like we got to pay these people all this money. Their money only goes so far. And also with the insurance, are they on the insurance? Because just like, I was in a car accident recently and the person, they weren't on the insurance. So
Mhm.
if he's even Nolan's driving the boat, is he authorized to drive the boat? Is he covered by the insurance? Like I
Absolutely not. Of course not.
No.
Why would he be?
Yeah,
No, he's not under
exactly.
insurance. So at the
Exactly.
end of the day, these people know they were going to have to come out of the pocket. And I believe that's the whole reason for this cover up, just
Yes.
like with the Alex Murdoch case. And here's the thing for everybody listening, one of the main reasons that someone would not want to be involved in this is because they don't want to lose millions of dollars. And rich people
Yes.
are the last ones who want to lose their money. I don't care how much money they have. They could be
Yes.
billionaires, trillionaires. They don't want to
Yes.
lose millions of dollars.
At all.
Nobody in their right mind does. So I
Yes.
would think that people will go to great lengths to cover up something that could
Yes.
potentially cost them financial ruin. Second of all,
Mm-hmm.
we already know that to be true in some cases because Alex
Mm-hmm.
Murdoch was willing to murder his wife and his own
Mhm.
And
son
son.
just to
Yep.
avoid
In
legal
history, we can
consequences.
go back with some big time. Yeah, this is
And
yeah.
that's
Yes.
my whole point. But there's
People
no
do
need, but
that.
that's my whole point. So that's just
Yes.
something logical that people do because some people act like they can't get a grasp of why
Yep.
they don't just, if it was an accident, why don't they just say it? Well, it's not that easy
Yes.
for rich people. Okay, it was
Yes.
an accident, but what if it was an accident because you were drunk? What was it?
That's
What
Yep.
right.
if it was an accident because someone did
Under the
illegal
influence.
substances? At the
Yep.
That's
end
right.
of the day, the bottom line is the adults are going to
Mm-hmm.
be responsible. And these
Yes.
people don't want to give up millions of dollars, and who
They
will?
don't want to.
That's just
They
what it
don't want
is.
to get up $10. So let
At
alone,
all.
and those boating accidents, they are big. They're big, big amounts. So yeah,
And
this
Huge.
let's
is
not forget, and hold on, let's not forget that I also told you all that Warren's father was named, Dr. Benjamin Hudson was already named in a wrongful death lawsuit before. Not that he was
mhm.
blamed individually, but his colleagues and himself were blamed for something that happened to a patient at the hospital. So the
Oh yeah,
bottom
I seen
line
that.
is you really think he wanted to be involved in this again? Of course not, because that would be not only financial ruin, that could ruin his reputation. And there's a
Yep.
database where they keep track of these things as it happens to physicians or people in the medical field, the healthcare industry in general. So
Hmm.
that could really
Yep.
sully his reputation. That could also
Hmm.
cost him his career at the end of
Yep.
the day. I mean, these things
Yep.
could take a toll on his career, if not cost
Hmm.
it, but it could definitely take a toll. So nobody wants to go through that. Okay.
No.
Yep.
And I absolutely believe
Too
when
much
you have
money.
someone who's a judge, when you
Yep.
have someone who's a judge, you have attorneys that are these
Hmm.
people's parents, when you have people that are, doctors and all of that,
Yep.
Yep.
they have all of these connections.
Yep.
So
Super.
definitely, if they think they can cover something up, that's what they're gonna. That's their first move, not the
Sound like
Yep.
last.
that was
Hold
was
on.
said on the boat. Something about that.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It did say it sound like that.
Mhm.
Water the truth. Thank you for your contribution, beloved, and your insight. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, Sadie Z Buchanan says there were several adults on the boat with Nolan in the photo when he was bending over reaching for something on that back
Yep.
boat. Four in total. Yeah, that was the Mac Daddy boat, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the
Mhm.
boat that he was on when he was bending down? The Mac Daddy boat? There was definitely adults there. And I
There
do
were
believe that
adults there.
there was at least one adult on the boat with them, in my opinion, because we heard someone in the CETO call saying, uh,
Well,
I'm speaking.
Yep.
That's
Some
someone
of the
speaking with
adults say.
authority. Like
Oh
Mm-hmm.
they're
yeah.
telling everyone else to be silent because I'm speaking now.
Wow.
Okay, and
Yeah.
let's not
It was
forget,
see.
that Warren said he called his mother 8 times. Why was he
Mm-hmm.
calling her so relentlessly? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably because something happened.
Yep.
Okay, probably because something happened. And the
Mm-hmm.
person on the boat could have been Judge Ashley Cole for all we know. I don't know.
Exactly. And I'm
But
and
it could
yeah,
have
I
been
Yes.
just
her
waited.
on the boat.
I waited.
Yes.
Because,
I believe it sounds like it. And because you see, Warren stepped out there, he stepped out there to protect her. He stepped
Mm-hmm.
out there and spoke first when it came
yeah.
to his side. And with one thing that we discussed a couple of weeks ago in the initial call, I mean
Mm-hmm.
initial cast we did, was I believe that they were protecting the words they were using with Cito seemed to be protecting anybody that was over the age of 21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
It
Yep.
seemed to be dismissing that no, there's nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He emphasized
Yeah.
there's nobody here over 21. No,
Oh,
there's
that
no
And
is.
that
children.
was not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
we're
was
all
not true because
that
Bart is 21.
that's why he made no, there's nobody here over.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what, and when he said over, I'm like, that's thoughtful. And we
Mm-hmm.
already
Mm-hmm.
understand that that we understand he was muting, speaking, and then hopping back on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jax admitted that in the interview that it
Mm-hmm.
was that somebody said something, and we didn't hear that on the call. And he said they said that right on the phone, and it was like y'all was
Mm-hmm.
muting like we
Mm-hmm.
thought. But
Yeah.
what we heard, and no matter what, it was things that he said on that phone within that time frame
Mm-hmm.
that just seems to be protecting the adults that was around that can help them,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because they have a lot to lose.
Oh
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have a
absolutely.
lot to lose.
Then why do you
Absolutely. I
protect them?
absolutely agree.
Yeah, why are they protecting Bart too? Because Bart, it seems like, remember they were saying, oh, Bart wasn't there. He was in Wyoming. Then the lawyer came out and said, well, they called Bart just to tow the boat.
Yeah.
Well,
So
of course they're
it
going to protect Bart because Bart's supposed to have been going
trying
to
to
the
go to the
NFL or
depth.
trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Sadie Z. Buchanan, thank you for your contribution, your insight into the topic, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Yes, that's why they're trying to protect Bart. Also, in the Tatum interviews, I don't think they were supposed to even mention Bart's name
I know.
because
I was
that's
like,
why he
where is
kept
he
saying
at?
Buddy. But then
Mm-hmm.
after he said it, he just went on to continue to say it, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning, I don't think they wanted to even say his name. So there's
No,
Yeah.
reasons why they don't want to
they're
bring up
still
certain
trying to
people.
avoid people's names, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they keep stumbling on when to say friend and when to say somebody's name.
Yeah. And also, where was Tristan? Tristan wasn't with the pack of friends, the
No,
pack of,
he
where
went
was
to his
He
he
was
at?
uncle's
with his
boat
uncle.
after the
Yeah.
altercation.
That's who he
No,
came with, though. He came with his uncle. He wasn't with him in the beginning.
no,
That's
no,
right.
no. I'm saying on the Tatum interview, where was Tristan? He
Yeah,
wasn't on there.
yeah.
Now, why is he
You
on
know,
there? Could he not afford the lawyers and to be protected up under?
Trayson already came on there and did his piece. He probably didn't want to come back on there.
No,
But
he.
also,
Yeah.
we have to keep in mind that Warren came on there with those two guys for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I
Mm,
told you all, I heard that they were trying to get some sort of deal. And then after
hmm
I said that, someone said, and I don't know if it's true or not, but
I bet.
someone said, um, Queen, that is AV. Okay, beloved. Someone said that at the end of the day, they were trying to act as though Miss Christine Wansley was trying to get a Netflix deal. That's what they were saying about her. So
Oh,
that
hmm
just sounds like projection.
Oh yeah,
That sounds like
absolutely.
projection to me.
Yeah, because they were in one of the interviews, the ones with Nancy Grace, and you mentioned it in your live the other day about how they were basically going and basically promoting and trying to, make money off of this with their alcohol and with the different things that they have going on, like,
mhm.
like they're
Yeah,
grifting
that
off of
wasn't
this.
Yeah, that wasn't me that said that. That's what Big Kish said on his video. I just showed his video,
Okay,
but
Big
yeah,
Kish, yeah,
at the
Big
end of the
Kish,
day,
yeah.
at the end of the day, they're absolutely grifting off of this, as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're absolutely grifting, but they want to sit there
Yeah.
and talk about Nolan's family is the ones that's grifting and being crump and all of that foolishness. Bottom line is, I absolutely think they did something. Okay, and they
Mm-hmm.
all know something, and it's really bothering the hell out of Warren. Okay, I
Yeah.
think he's been
Oh, for
haunted in his
sure.
sleep at night. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
can't sleep at night, tossing and turning. Okay, I think
Mm-hmm.
that he's just like is really bearing down on him because
Yeah.
that's why you would look like that.
Mm-hmm.
You
You know what I'm
remember
saying?
Jack
That's why
said
you would look
something
like
about
that.
he went when the people showed up at the house or something like that, and it was coming down to understanding that Nolan is missing. You remember he tried to say I went balled up in my room and I couldn't get myself together. I was freaking out or something like this. What you balling up for? You don't even know if he may still be alive. What you balling up for? You
Yeah.
know, just go look for him. They're saying things that are letting you know that no matter what, and what you said, Umar said it too, and we said it prior to, is that yes, we might cloud ourselves trying to just figure out the murder or what happened to Nolan if it's a quote unquote something violent, something happened in that fashion. We might confuse ourselves, but one thing that's obvious is that it seems to be a very high chance that it's an accessory after the fact of something, and something
Hmm.
some you guys did something with this body, because if it was something that was organic that happened, we wouldn't even be talking about, nobody would even have to be explaining what they did after a time period. If something organic happened, you would just simply call 911.
Yeah,
You would just get
exactly.
help for your friend. But
Yeah.
if it was no need for help for your friend and your friend was in a good situation,
Mhm.
then it's no need for you to be even explaining what you did all this time.
Exactly.
There's no
And
need
no
for
need
you
to
to take
stress
a
out.
picture for it.
You,
Yeah, it's no
yeah.
need for you to take a picture for no reason. You know,
Hmm.
you guys took a picture of a distress moment when there was 50 million beautiful things to take on a party weekend on the 4th of July, but y'all made sure to take
Exactly.
that one. And so if something organically happened to Nolan, these is no reason to do these things after the fact. If your
Hmm.
boat was in distress and something organically happened to your friend that you were not involved in, you don't
Hmm.
have to explain yourself.
Hmm. And I
You
don't
don't
know.
have to.
I'm kind of thinking like, was the phone thing, was that maybe a lie? Because I mean, how did they get pictures if other people were taking pictures if they collected the phones? Like that doesn't make
Exactly,
sense to
because it was
me.
working well. It was working well when it came to your alibi pick. It worked
Yeah,
well.
because I'm like you. I mean, I don't know if you've traveled, but I've traveled and taken like boat cruises, like from the land to out and then back. They didn't take our phones, so I'm like, this is really suspicious. Why did you take the phones? But you see some pictures with them out there in the water. So
Mhm.
did you only try to take Nolan's phone? Was like we said, was there something on Nolan's phone? Y'all didn't want to get out? Is that the reason y'all were messing with his phone, had his phone, took his phone to your house, and all these things with his phone? Because other people
Mhm.
had pictures, and I mean, we're seeing pictures of them out in the water on the boat. So it just really that rings suspicion to me. Like you take people's phone when they get it doesn't make sense because some people had their phones, but you're saying that we take people's phones and Nolan's phones was one of the phones. It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's right. It can't make, and reason why it doesn't make sense to you is because they said that they handed phones out back. So did you take their phones so that you have to have, because that doesn't make any sense. Why would
Yeah.
you had their phones in order to, so that they can come meet you at the dock so you can wait for people to hand phones back? No. That's
Hmm.
that I you're obviously lying about something
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
if you were conscious that you had other people's phones at
Hmm.
7:31 at the boating docks and you handed all of them out, leaving Nolan's phone, then
Hmm.
when people came to get it 4 hours, 5 hours later,
Yeah.
it should have been right there.
Hmm. Yeah.
You already, yeah, you knew you had it. You heard all the calls come in and everything.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think that in itself to me is very questionable because I've been on boats
Mhm.
before where they're not collecting our phones. Like, what would be the purpose and reason for you to collect their phones anyway? It's not like it's an airplane where they want you to go on airplane mode, for whatever reason for the boat. I guess if maybe they're saying you can mess up the GPS or whatever, but that's just really
Yeah.
odd to me because I've never, and I took many of boats out in the water and came back to land and never have the company that was running the boat, the boat parties that we went on, never
Mhm.
have they taken my phone, neither one of our phones. So it doesn't that excuse in itself to me is very questionable.
Yeah. Very, very.
Hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.